What's in store in personal finance in 2025? Hi, this is financial planner Sean Mullaney. Let's discuss. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on a few things in 2025 when it comes to personal finance. And before I kick off those three things, I do want to say most of financial planning is personal, not current events driven, right? So rare indeed is the event that would say, oh, you just need to rip up your financial plan and totally start over, right? Most financial planning changes should be initiated by changes to personal circumstances, not by current events. But that said, we should keep our ear to the ground. And I think there are three things, at least, right? I'm going to cover three, there are probably more, that are going to be worth keeping an eye on. The first one is yields. Right. So we saw this in 2024, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes in 2025. The difference between international equity yields and domestic equity yields in 2024 accelerated and magnified. As I record this in late November of 2024, an international equity index fund has a yield approaching 3%. While a domestic equity index fund has a yield closer to something like 1.32 or 1.33, something like that. Let's just call it 1.3%, which means the international equity yield might be twice or more the domestic equity yield. And that has significant implications for something called tax basketing, or sometimes referred to as asset location. Some folks might want to start thinking more and more about having the international equities in retirement accounts and having the domestic equities more in taxable accounts so we keep our taxable income number low. I did a video about that recently, and I think this is worth looking at in 2024. Now, who knows? Maybe domestic yields will go up and international yields will go down, and maybe this becomes less important. But as those yields grow further apart and international goes higher and higher, maybe having international and taxable accounts becomes a little less attractive. So keep an eye on that in 2025. Second thing to keep an eye on in 2025 is tax law changes. First, we started off with Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, passed in late 2017, scheduled to expire for a lot of the individual tax cuts at the end of 2025. I sincerely doubt that's going to happen with Trump and a Republican Congress, but we got to stay tuned. And I'm going to be looking at rates. I'm going to be looking at the qualified business income deduction. And one of my favorites, the standard deduction. I think it was great how TCJA significantly increased the standard deduction. So I'll be looking for that and to see what tax changes there are. Another one I'm going to be looking at is the tax on Social Security. President Trump made a very vocal promise to eliminate taxes on Social Security. And from a planning perspective, I think that's very impactful. So as a financial planner, I've got my eye on that one in particular. So I'll be interested to see what does or does not come of that. And I'll be staying tuned on that. And then the third thing I'm going to be looking for in 2025 is the future of Secure 2.0. In 2024, there was a federal court case down in Lubbock, Texas, where the overarching bill that had Secure 2.0 in it, the old omnibus bill from late in 2022, was determined to not have been passed in a constitutionally qualified manner. So that makes 2025 very perilous for Secure 2.0 with a new administration of a different party. Right? Secure 2.0 was passed by mostly Democrats in Congress, not exclusively, and signed by a Democratic president. Clearly, based on this court case, it has some constitutional issues. Reasonable minds can differ on that, but there's at least some problem there. And then you have to think, well, wait a minute, would a Republican president and a Republican Department of Justice in litigation stick their necks out to defend Secure 2.0 if it was passed in a not so constitutionally qualified manner by a president of the other party, right? So I think there's an issue there that the new administration needs to tackle, and it'll be interesting to see what they do or don't do on that, and I think very much stay tuned. Now, Secure 2.0 was a lot of nitpicks, a lot of meddling on the edges, but one thing that was somewhat impactful from a planning perspective was the delay in RMDs. Now, it's possible maybe the new administration won't enforce Secure 2.0, but then Congress will just repass the delay in RMDs. That's a theoretical possibility as well. So lots of different permutations and combinations there. I'll be very interested to stay tuned there. So 2025, much like 2024, may turn out to be an eventful year. And I'm looking forward to it. And I thank you for joining me on the ride on my YouTube channel. This has been a great year of growth for the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. A little Christmas present for Sean, if you don't mind. Thanks so much for watching all my videos. I so appreciate it. And I want to wish everyone out there a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a blessed 2025. I will see you next year.